Today's video is more for 7. This time we're going to talk about the absolute value functions. These functions are going to look like a V. Maybe the V is pointed up, maybe the V is pointed down. Maybe the V is shifted to the right, maybe the V is shifted to the left. Maybe the V's bottom point is way up here. Maybe he's a really wide looking V. Maybe he's a super skinny V. Or maybe he's just a V that's hanging out. These are all options for absolute value functions. Here's your first question. Type in the answer. What is the shape? What shape are absolute value functions? I hope you said they're in the letter of a V. All right, let's graph this function. Notice that absolute value functions have straight bars. We did absolute value equations, I guess, in another chapter. Absolute value just means you make it positive. So whatever's on the inside, if it's already positive, it stays positive. If it's negative, it becomes positive. We're going to make our little chart. We're going to start picking some numbers, and we're going to build the V. Remember, the V can come up, can go down. It can be shifted to the right, shifted to the left. It can be floating up high, down low. Let's do the basic one. So what's a good number to pick? 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. So I've got a dot at 0, 0. Let's pick 1. The absolute value of positive 1 is 1. So I got another dot. Let's pick 2. Absolute value of 2 is positive 2. This is not looking like a V. 3 is going to be 3. 4 is going to be 4. This is not looking like a V. I think we should pick some negative numbers. Negative 1. The absolute value of negative 1 becomes positive 1. Okay, we're making progress here because that dot is there. If I pick negative 2, the absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. So I've got a dot there. I think I see my V. I got my pattern going. Connect the dots. This is your typical, your basic function. Starts at 0 and up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1 in both directions. So if you start picking numbers and you're not seeing the V, you gotta get smarter about what you're picking. All right, let's start manipulating these functions. Let's give us a coefficient. As a whole number, let's do a fractional coefficient and see what happens there. Let's do a plus or minus in the back and see what happens there. All right, so I'm going to pick 0, 1, and 2 as my numbers to stick in here. Let's do the math. 0 times 2 is 0. 1 times 2, 2 times 2. Let's graph them and see if it's helpful. Can I see the X yet? 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4. Not seeing the X. I'm feeling like I need to go over into the negative side to start seeing it. So let's pick negative 1. 2 times negative 1. Let's pick negative 2. That would be negative 4. Negative 1. Oh, silly me. The absolute value bars mean I'm going to make it positive. So this is not going to be negative 2. It's going to be a positive 2. This is going to be a positive 4. Silly, silly, silly. All right, so I got negative 1, 2, negative 2, 4. I can see my V, and I'm ready to connect. So that one, if we compare it to our first guy, this one is just a little bit skinnier. So putting that coefficient of 2 made it, because last time we were up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. This time we're up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So it's making it just a little bit skinnier. The other one would have been, if I drew it right here, would be like out here, up 1 over 1. That blue was our original. Okay, let's do a fraction. So I picked 0, 2, and 4. Now if a whole number makes it skinnier, I think I know what this fraction is going to do, but let's see if what I'm thinking is right. So I picked 0, 2, and 4 because they're easy to cut in half. Half of nothing is nothing. Half of 2. Half of 4. I better do some negatives. Let's do -2 and -4. And don't make the mistake I did over here because I forgot to make everybody positive when I was done. So half of -2 is -1, but he becomes +1. Half of -4 is -2, but he becomes +2. So let's graph. I got 0, 0. I got 2, 1. I got 4, 2. I got -2, 1. -4, 2. This made the picture a little bit fatter. So he's a little bit more spread out. Let's do this guy. So now I'm back to my x, but I got a -3. Do we have any predictions there before I start doing it? What is going to happen? Well, I know what's going to happen, but let's see if I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to give any secrets away yet. So 0 minus 3 is -3, but I make it positive. 1 minus 3 is -2, but I make it positive. 2 minus 3 is -1, but I make it positive. -1 minus 3 is -4, but I make it positive. -2 minus 3 is -5, but I make it positive. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe we're not picking the right numbers here because I'm not getting any matches. Let's see. 0, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, -1, 4, I'm not seeing the V. Are you seeing the V yet? Well, if we're not seeing the V, I thought maybe by picking these, we would start seeing the V, but no go. So I need to pick some more numbers. I'm feeling like I need to pick them over in this area. So let's pick 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. When I pick 3, I get 0. Let's do 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. Oh, yeah, we're starting to climb again. 5 minus 3 is 2. So now I can keep my pattern going. So is that what you predicted? That putting a -3 actually shifted it to the right. It didn't go up, it didn't go down, it didn't go left. Putting a minus here shifted the whole thing over in the positive direction, which is kind of weird, isn't it? I knew I was going to do that, but I didn't want to tell you. All right, here is your next question. So I've got the absolute value of x plus 1. I picked 0, 1, and 2. I have these dots. My question to you is, what are some good x's that I should pick? Because I don't see the V yet. The V is not happening. So tell me some good x's. Well, I hope you were thinking numbers like -1, -2, -3, because here's where those dots would be, and we start seeing the V. The V with a +1 shifts it to the left, one place. The vertex is one place left. Something we haven't talked about is domain and range. We need to talk about that. What is the domain of this picture? What is the range of this picture? Domain is x's. So if I look on the x-axis, will there ever be an x that doesn't work? No, because eventually this is going to go forever and it's going to hit every x. So all real numbers work for the domain. Let's think about the y's. Well, there won't ever be y y's down here. These y's, there'll always be something. So the y's are greater than or equal to 0. Because here's y at 0 on the x-axis, and the range is always going to be greater than or equal to 0. Let's go back to 4-3. We did a video on this, but I want to do a refresher video. So parallel and perpendicular. Parallel are two equations that have the same slope. The slopes are the same. Perpendicular, the slopes are opposite signs, so one positive, one negative, and they're reciprocals, which means they're flipped of each other. Okay, so I've got 9 different questions here. Let's look and see. Are they parallel? Are they perpendicular? Or are they just nothing? There could be a nothing. That could be an option. So slope is the guy in front of the x. That's all we care about. Guy in front of the x. In front of the x, in front of the x, in front of the x. All we care about is slope. Guy in front of the x. So 2x, a 2, and a 2. Are they the same, opposite, reciprocals? They are parallel because they're the same. So these two parallel. Okay, let's look at our green one. 2x, and we don't care about the plus 5. Negative a half x, we don't really care about this plus 2. Well, first of all, they're opposite signs. One's positive, one negative. So it could be perpendicular. Are they reciprocals? 2 and 1/2. Are those flips of each other? Yes, they are. So these guys are perpendicular. Perpendicular. So let's look at our next one. I've got a positive 4, I got a negative 4. Opposite signs, but they're not reciprocals. Nothing. Let's look at the 3 and the 2. Just because we have the same one in the back does not mean anything. Are these the same? Are they opposite reciprocals? Not the same, not either of those. All right, I got nothing in the back, which is, who cares? I got a 1/3 and a 3. Hey, those are reciprocals, but they're not opposite signs. I got a plus 4 in the back. I got nothing in the back. Do we care? No, we don't, because all we care about is whoever's in the front. And those match. Those are parallel. They both have no coefficient or a coefficient of 1. Same slopes, parallel. Let's look at this yellow guy. I got 2/5, 5/2. Ooh, those are reciprocals. And one guy's positive, one guy's negative. Yay! I got another good one. I got perpendicular. Perpendicular. Okay, and let's look at this blue guy. It doesn't matter that these say 5 in the back because we don't even care. What we care about is right here. And we've got a positive 7 and a negative. So opposite signs, are they reciprocals? 7 and 1/7? Why, yes, they are. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. These are perpendicular. And our last one, we have 1/2 x plus 8, 1/2 x minus 3. We don't care about these guys in the back. We just care right here. 1/2, 1/2, same. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those are parallel. Here is your last question. So I've written an equation, y equals 1/3 x plus 2. I almost wrote another equation, y equals something x minus 7. I want to know what's going to go here so that you make the two lines perpendicular. Tell me what coefficient, what has the slope got to be in order for these to be perpendicular. All right, did you say, drum roll please, -3? They have to be opposite signs, one positive, one negative. They got to be reciprocals, 1/3, 3/1. If you actually typed in 3/1, I'll take it. That's fine, -3/1. It's just that looks a little weird, so -3 is good too. All right, good video.